Now that we've completed our direct materials budget, because we're making the product, we'll also have to calculate direct labor and manufacturing overhead. So the next schedule that I'm going to put together is the direct labor. So I need to convert my production from units into labor hours. So I'm going to start off by finding out my production in units. So those are the production requirements. So that's the 26, the 46, and the 49 from your production budget. So I need to know how many hours it takes in order to make one unit. So in the question, they tell me that at Royal, each unit of product requires 0.05 hours of direct labor. So that comes out to about 3 minutes. So now I have my production converted into hours instead. That makes sense because we usually pay people in hours. Now, a unique thing is happening in this question. If I read this, and it doesn't happen in most questions, but it says the company has a no layoff policy. So this is in part 6. So all employees will be paid for 40 hours of work each week, regardless of how much they work. So that's the minimum. And in order for that exchange, the workers agreed to be paid for $10 per hour. And over the next 3 months, the direct labor workforce will be paid for a minimum of 15 hours per month. So I'm just going to highlight this information in red just because it usually isn't part of this schedule. It's just because they have a unique arrangement here that we're including it. So regardless of how much we're budgeting that they work, we're going to pay them a guaranteed 1,500 hours. So then my labor hours paid, I'm just going to compare. So I'm thinking they're going to work 1,300 hours in April, but I'm guaranteeing them 15. So I'm going to pay them off the 15. In May, I don't have a problem because I'm anticipating that they're going to work 2,300 hours. And then in June, I have them working just shy of 1,500 hours at 1,450, but we're going to pay them for 1,500. So even though they were thinking they're going to work for 5,050 hours, we're going to pay them for the 5,300. And the rate that we're paying them is $10 per hour. So on most direct labor budgets, we'd go from the labor hours required, and then we would just multiply that by the wage rate, and then we would get our total direct labor costs. So if you do 1,500 times by 10, then this is the amount in dollars. So sometimes when we're working on these budgets, unique situations do arise that we have to consider and then modify our templates for. And this one is one of those. But you probably won't see that happen again in any of the other questions that you attempt.